Hello everyone, this is Practical Knowledge Learning Channel. We provide practical knowledge that you can use when you face problems in your daily life. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever been in this situation? Where you want to get to know someone and talk to them? And get closer to them? Maybe it's a friend or a neighbor or a girl you want to get to know. But you just don't know what to say. Or talking to a friend and suddenly running out of things to say. If you do, here are 11 practical tips for you to keep the conversation going. The first tip, observe. Observe your surroundings or any accessories or clothing that the other person is wearing. Let's say you're on the street. You see many food restaurants here. Then you can tell the other person about the food in the restaurant. And what food is delicious or what food you think is good to eat around here. Or maybe you talk to a girl. And then you find out she has tattoos. Then you can compliment her on her tattoo. And you can ask her why she wants to get a tattoo or the origin of the tattoo. Just observe anything around you or your friend and then see it as a subject to talk about it. Remember to use open-ended questions as much as possible, so the person can talk about her thoughts or feelings. The second tip, greeting questions. For example, if you meet a friend at a place, you can ask him about logistics. Like you can ask him, how did him get here? Take the MRT or drive? Did he come with a friend? Or did they have any plans after this? If you have a mutual friend, you can ask him how they know each other. Have you been here before? Or are you familiar with this place? And you can also tell the other person your situation. The third trick, be interested in the other person. Curious about the other person and want to know them thoroughly. Everyone is most interested in themselves. Let a man talk about himself. And he can talk about himself for 3 days and 3 nights. Learn about your partner's career interests. And how he thinks about things, how he feels. The sport she loves and the food she likes to eat. Movies she likes to watch. What has he done in the past? What he is doing recently. What he wants to do in the future. Just talking about anything related to the other person, so they can express their feelings and thoughts. Then they'll see you as a close friend and a good conversationalist. The fourth tips, use Ford to start the conversation. F stands for family. His family member's brother, sister, father, mother. Do they have a good relationship with each other? What do their parents and siblings do for a living? When you understand each other's family background, your relationship will have a deeper connection, and you will become more familiar with each other. O stands for occupation. Ask each other about their occupation. What happened at work, what they encountered, why they wanted to choose this career, whether they encountered any difficulties when they first started doing it, or what they were most proud of accomplishing, or what their profession is. For example, if they are a chef, you can ask them what they need to pay attention to when cooking a certain dish, or how to cook a certain dish. R stands for recreation. What recreation does he usually like to do when he is on vacation? How did he first come across this recreation? How much time does he usually spend on recreation? D stands for dream. Everyone has a dream. Ask to know what the other person wants to achieve in the future. It may not be appropriate to ask directly at first. You can start with the other person's entertainment. The fifth tip, catch the key words. When the other person says a phrase or something, or answers a question, grab the key words you can use. For example, if the other person says they drove from Toronto after breakfast this morning, you can ask who else are you with? Or from breakfast. Ask what did he have for breakfast? Or start with Toronto and ask what's going on in the city. Capture keywords for further inquiry and understanding. The sixth tip, association. When the other person said a sentence, you from that sentence associated with what your relevant experience. Then describe your relevant experience. For example, if the other person said they went to the gym yesterday to exercise, Or play ball. You can describe you went to the gym a few days ago to exercise. Until you can't lift your hands home relevant experience. Or your previous ball game with others. And the opponent is very strong, and how intense was your game? Anything you can think of that might relate to what the other person said. The 7th tip, cold reading. You can observe the other person and then use the guess to cold read him. For example, you see the other person in a great shape. You can say you must be a person who likes to exercise and pay attention to health. Or if the other person dresses very well, you can say you must have very own taste, usually watch the fashion channel. This cold reading, whether right or wrong, the other person will tell you. And then you can get some information about the other person. And then you can use this information as another keyword to continue the conversation. The 8th tip, use WH to continue the conversation. Use why, what, when, and how to continue the conversation. For example, if a friend says he went to a shopping mall yesterday, you can ask her why she suddenly wants to go to a shopping mall. Or when she went to a shopping mall. Or where is the shopping mall she went to. Or how she went to a shopping mall. To continue the conversation. This method will help you keep the conversation going and gain a deeper understanding in details of what the other person is talking about. But important, don't keep asking questions. Make a comment or tell about your related experience after the other person answers your question. The 9th tip, talk to the other person about topics that interest them. Talk about the topics that interest the other person. And the other person will talk to you all the time. You can then grab keywords and make associations to extend the topic. For example, the other person likes playing volleyball. Then you can ask him, how did you first get into volleyball? Did you teach yourself volleyball? Or did you get a coach to teach you volleyball? Did you have any setbacks when you started playing volleyball? To understand more about the cause, motivation, and passion of the other person's interest. The 10th tip, extend the conversation to a topic that you are passionate about. For example, if you like to play basketball, you can ask the other person if they like to play basketball. Then use the person's answer to talk about how you started playing basketball. How do you train yourself to get better at basketball? The topic you open here is mainly to extend to your interests to talk about your passion. The 11th tip, share your situation and then ask the other person. Share your opinion about everything. Your feelings, your hobbies, your experience. What you are doing now, what you have done before, or what you want to do in the future. And then ask your partner about his or her opinions, interests, and hobbies to continue the conversation. When you want to ask someone a question or opinion, you can also tell them about yours first and then ask them. Conclusion. There are 11 tips you can use to keep your conversation flowing. The first tip, observe. Observe anything that can be your topic of conversation. The second tip, greeting questions. Ask the other person about his logistics. The third tip, be interested in the other person. Curious about the other person and want to know them thoroughly. The fourth tip, use for to start the conversation. F family. O occupation. R recreation. D dream. The fifth tip, catch the keywords. Catch the other person's keyword to continue the conversation. The sixth tip, association. Relate what the other person said to your relevant experience. The seventh tip, cold reading. Observe the other person and then use the guess to cold read him. The eighth tip, use WH to continue the conversation. Use why, what, when, and how to continue the conversation. The ninth tip, talk to the other person about topics that interest them. Talk about the topics that interest the other person. The 10th tip, extend the conversation to a topic that you are passionate about. Start a topic related to your passion and then talk about it. The 11th tip, share your situation and then ask the other person. Share your opinion and feeling about everything and then ask the other person. Here are 11 tips that you can use in any conversation with anyone. so you can have a constant flow of conversation. If you like this video, please subscribe and push the thumb up below. You can also make a comment below. I'll be sharing more practical tips for you. And thank you for your watching.